Hi, my name is Krista, and I am the creator of Sidekicks. To my left is Maddie. We're actually going to do something a little different today. She's actually going to be asking me questions and asking me what my favorite moments of Sidekicks were. So, hope everyone enjoys. Just a little housekeeping rules. Please keep your mic on mute until the Q&A time, and then you can take it off if you have a question. And let's see, what else? If you're moving around and you have to get off camera because this is being filmed, just keep it off if you feel like it's going to be too much of a distraction. And that's it. Maddie, take it away.
Yes, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to ruin Sidekicks. No, I'm joking. I'm not here to ruin Sidekicks. I love this too much. So I know we are probably going to start off with an episode. I think that's probably best. Okay. Because it gives me time to think of more questions to ask that you probably haven't answered before.
Right.
As I mentally try and go through the ones that we did before so you don't have to, repeat yourself a lot. But obviously this is Russian roulette with whatever episode you would like to listen to. So I leave it in your hands.
Let's see. We're gonna go with episode 3.
Okay.
Because I don't remember anything about this episode.
All right, so listen to the episode and there will be a quiz afterwards.
Woo! All right, so this is episode 3, the challenge.
Rushes through the halls, trying to get to the classroom on time.
Let me back it up to the beginning. That would help.
We're all rushing to the halls to get to class on time. We all know that feel.
Right? And action.
Miss Cambridge rushes through the halls, trying to get to the classroom on time. She stops when she hears Ashlyn scream and 2 bullies picking on her, calling her names and making fun of her powers. Cracking her knuckles, she gets ready to tell the bully to leave Ashlyn alone. Suddenly, another kid walks in and steps in to save the day, wearing blue shorts, red top, and a white baseball cap.
Leave her alone.
Why? What are you gonna do about it?
Do you even go here?
Leave her alone, or...
Black Panther comes from the other side of the hallway, opposite of where Miss Cambridge is standing. Miss Cambridge is still watching from a distance.
Cohen, Bryce, is there a problem here?
Miss Panther, they're picking on me.
Oh, sweetie, have you gotten your powers yet?
Not yet, but our new teacher.
Then I guess that means there's nothing I can do for you. If you don't get your powers soon, you're doomed to be a sidekick, and well, superheroes are allowed to become sidekicks.
You're kidding me. She's like, what, only 8? She has time. What sort of teacher are you?
Noriko slowly turns to the newcomer and tilts her head.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. What class are you registered in?
Well, you see, I'm actually looking for what class I'm in. I'm not even sure I'm at the right school.
Miss Cambridge walks towards the group. Ashlyn notices her.
Miss Cambridge!
There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you, Ashlyn. We have to get to class now.
Oh, you're the new teacher.
Only temporary, I think. But yeah.
Well, I don't want to hold you up. Plus, I have a class to teach as well.
Oh? What class do you teach?
The older superhero students.
Maybe I'm in your class.
I don't recall getting any new students. What's your name?
Justice.
Do you have any superpowers that you can control?
Well, no, not yet, but...
Oh, then you aren't in my class. You belong in...
Oh, right. I'm Stormy Cambridge.
I know. I mean, it's a pleasure. Anyways, young lady, you're in Miss Cambridge's class. Besides, You don't look over the age of 15.
Actually,
Cohen and Bryce, let's get to class now.
Rico, Cohen, and Bryce walk back towards their classroom. Ashlyn, Miss Cambridge, and Justice walk into the classroom. Ashlyn runs to take her spot next to Maverick. Justice stands there, awkwardly frowning.
I think everyone's made a mistake. You see, I'm actually too old to be in this class.
You do look a bit older than everyone else.
Great, glad you agree too. Now, if you could transfer me...
You look about 11. But it's okay. Some powers take a while to grow into.
I'm not 11,
It's all right, sweetie. You don't have to be embarrassed. Class, this is our new student, Judy.
Justice.
Right. Why don't you take a seat next to Derek? He's sitting in the back.
Justice audibly sighs and then heads towards the back, mumbling about how she's older than she looks and shouldn't be in the class. She plops into the seat and leans back, slouching.
You don't want to be here either, do you?
Justice rolls her eyes. The door opens, and Rico walks in with her Black Panther mask on. Miss Cambridge goes into fighting stance, then clears her throat and steps on an invisible spider.
Oh, I forgot to mention when we bumped into each other in the hall. We have our semesterly dodgeball competition.
Wait, that was you?
Of course. Everyone has to have a day job, Miss Cambridge. I'm sure you have some secret you're hiding as well.
Oh.
No, I don't. Anyways, what's this about a semesterly dodgeball competition? That's not a word, by the way.
I teach superpowers, not English. Maybe that's why this class never develops powers. They hire untrained humans with lack of supers as instructors.
Your face is untrained.
Control that child before I rip.
Oh, careful. Your claws are showing.
Maybe you're right. Perhaps your class isn't ready to play dodgeball. It takes a sense of maturity.
It's dodgeball. The aim is to hit someone with a ball. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, and we can kick your butts.
Ugh, I hate dodgeball. Can't we have a hopscotch competition? Or jump rope?
As I said, your kids have to have a certain fire about the game. They clearly do not. Such a shame.
Black Panther walks out, giving a sinister smile.
Guys, this will be a great way to work on teamwork.
No one but me is in powers. Why do they need teamwork?
Because I want to kick Black Panther's ass. But besides, the more active you are, the more your powers will start to surface.
Yeah, because getting a ball thrown at you and knocking you unconscious is great for training.
Thank you, Jenny, for volunteering for team captain.
What? I didn't just volunteer, and my name is Justice.
Aww, I wanted to be team captain. Like anyone would want to follow you. Shut up, Derek, or I'll kick your butt.
Didn't he kick your butt last time?
The sound of the end bell blares loudly. The kids get up and run out of class. Justice lazily follows behind as Miss Cambridge rubs her temple.
This is going to take a lot of work.
Welcome to another super historical fact. Remember how I told you that every child hero either lives with their parents or is given away? Well, there are some kids who aren't even that lucky. Maverick Grayskull lives in Normal View, California with his butler for as long as he could remember. This would be sad if he didn't actually know this was abnormal unless you were a rich kid and your parents were always traveling. Unfortunately for Mav, his parents had gone on a mission to save the world from the Devil's Sniper, a particularly evil group that is always hell-bent, I'm sorry, heck-bent one, ruling the world. They were killed by the leader of Devil Sniper and left his butler Malfred to take care of him. Thankfully, this happened when Mav was only 2 years old. Any older, and who knows what he might have become. An angry vigilante bent on finding his parents' killer, all while saving the day in black leather and a stupid rodent mask. Or an angry vigilante who was bent on finding his parents' killer dressed in an all-red leather footsies. Either way, he was determined not to make a fashion statement of himself.
And scene.
Derek, Maverick, Calvin, and Cassie are sitting in a...
That's it? That's the
Yeah,
episode?
It usually ends with a super historical fact, so that's how you know it's an episode.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've heard the earlier episodes, so it was just like I'm used to them being obviously longer, but two, I did forget that they always have like the fact about like the kids and their families if they have them at the end. So
yeah,
it was a nice little refresher.
It was. I only remember writing like the first 5 minutes, maybe not even first 2 minutes where Ashlyn is being picked on and Justice saves her. Like that's the only thing I remember writing. Everything else I'm like, what? I don't remember writing it.
Well, clearly you wrote it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So what is like your ideal kind of like writing headspace? Like, do you listen to music while you write? Do you listen to past episodes to kind of prep? Like, what do you normally kind of do to kind of get yourself in the mindset of writing episodes?
Okay. When I first started, I would listen to music because it would be when I was on campus. So in the cafeteria, like everyone around me was screaming, so I'd have to like block out everyone. But now that I'm not in college, sometimes I'll play music. Lately it's been, I have to have silence. Or I'll start thinking about, okay, so-and-so is saying this, so how will that character react? So I'll start talking it out as if I'm the character. It sounds like crazy, like I'm a crazy person, but sometimes that's the only way I can get it out, because another way I used to prep for it was me and my friend Allie, we would talk back and forth about what the characters would say to each other, and that's how like a lot of the earlier jokes came about. It was like suggestions from her. So that's, I just kind of keep in that mind frame. I'll start talking it out. Sometimes a joke will come to me, maybe not then, but like when I'm writing, then I'll start laughing. I'll be like, that's funny, I'm gonna put that in there. And then I'll go back and reread it like maybe a week later just to make sure it's still funny and not just funny at that time. So that's my process.
Okay, no, that's really, really good. So what made you decide on like sidekicks? Because most superhero themed sort of like shows always focus on the hero. So what made you want to focus on kids as sidekicks that can eventually grow into heroes?
Pretty much it's what you just said. Like every show that I've come across it or watched as a kid, it was more focused on the hero. Even if it's just one singular person, like Pokemon, it was Ash Ketchum. He was the lead character. Or Sailor Moon, even though the other Sailor Scouts were there, it was always focused on Sailor Moon, more so than the others. So I thought it would be cool to write about something that wasn't so focused on the heroes. Like I have connection with like the older heroes, maybe because I'm older and like I want to go back and see how they came to be who they are. But like at the same time, I thought, well, they didn't just automatically become heroes. Like they weren't just like, oh, I have these powers, look at me, I can save the world. Like there had to be like a journey for them. So I wanted to kind of show that journey.
Well, it's good. I think we all know that, like we both just said, like there's not a lot of shows growing up. I mean, there's shows now,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, but like growing up, it's always very hero centric, hero focused, and like the supporting cast.
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's like we get the supporting cast as the focus, and then like the heroes are the like the background.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Laura, she just said that she loves that. So that's cool. No, thanks, Laura. It just kind of came to me.
So is there any favorite character, like one character that you get really excited to write about?
That's so hard.
I didn't send you the questions beforehand, so you got to think on the fly here.
I know. And ironically, I was like, she's probably going to ask that. And you
could have prepared yourself, but you decided not
to. I tried. I was like, it's going to be this one. I was like, but it's so. I really.
Okay, I'll make it a little easier. Your top 3 characters that you like to write for.
Dr. Poison.
Okay, I was gonna say in no particular order. You don't have to rank them.
Captain Whirlwind. In the first season, even though I loved Ashlyn, I loved writing for Justice, even though she wasn't like, she's actually not part of this series. Mm-hmm. It was fun because she was the snarkiest of everyone, and then Ashlyn would be the second snarkiest. So it was always fun having Justice, like in this episode where they're talking about how dodgeball is so great, and she's like, guys, you're literally just throwing a ball. So I liked coming up with little one-liners like that for her.
And now we know that you've been secretly writing season 2 because we haven't gotten the scripts yet, but we know you're doing it. So who would you say thus far your top 3 that you really like to write for?
Captain Whirlwind. Can it be pairs?
Yeah, we'll go easy mode on you. Yes, it can be pairs.
Captain Whirlwind and Lightning Bolt. Bryce and Ashlyn. And I'm just getting to the villain episode, and it's Missy and Roderick.
We're excited. I think a lot of the cast are like, you like tease us about season 2, and we're just like, give us the script.
I'm almost there. I promise.
So any other episode you want to play next? That's probably not 10. I mean, I'm never against 10, but I'm just saying.
10 is amazing. Let's see.
Yes, I'm very excited because I know you guys can't see the chat that Laura mentioned Missy, and she voices Missy, and I'm excited for all these new characters and all these new cast members we have. I'm very excited. We welcome you to Sidekicks.
Be prepared.
Yeah. Oh God, there's so. If you watch all of these Q&As, there are so many inside jokes.
Oh yeah.
That I'm pretty sure no one new in the cast is going to get, and we have made it a point that we are going to put all of these on shirts.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go with episode 4 because that one's my favorite.
Okay. All right.
It is called The Game.
Just as Cassie, Derek, Maverick, and Calvin are all on the field waiting for the older class of heroes to arrive, Miss Cambridge and Dr. Poison walk out on the field. It's the day of the game.
Woo! Are you guys ready to do this?
Yeah.
Ashlyn, what did I tell you this morning?
If I don't play, I'm a loser. And if I'm a loser, then I can't play with your ice ray.
Or
turn it pink.
You know, you really didn't have to be here. Not to say that your daughter doesn't appreciate your support, but I think it's really sweet, but
I don't support her. At that moment, Miss Noriko and her class walk towards Miss Cambridge and her students. Both teachers politely smile at each other, but it's clear to everyone around them that there is a deep hatred for one another.
Ready to lose.
Derek throws a ball purposely hitting Miss Noriko in the head.
Watch it, brat.
If we win, you're buying me a new video game.
I don't think so.
Okay, everyone. Here's how it's going to work. First, we're going to flip a coin to decide the names of the teams. Heads are sidekicks, and tails are heroes.
oh, what's going on? Why is he acting like the referee?
Oh, what a silly little clap of thunder. He's Super Academia's PE coach. Why else did you think he was here? Support the kids? That's disgusting.
Why are you calling me that?
Miss Cambridge, why don't you flip first?
Not a problem. If my kids got the team name Heroes, they'd have so much confidence. There is no way they would lose.
Miss Cambridge thinks no one can hear her, but they can. We all can.
What did you say?
Nothing. Go ahead and flip the coin, Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison flips the coin. It twirls over and over and over again, making all three teachers get into it. Finally lands, and Dr. Poison, Miss Noriko, and Miss Cambridge lean over to see what it landed on.
You've got to be kidding me.
I don't see any punchlines here. The coin landed on heads. I guess your team is the sidekicks. Fitting. It looks like you're really lucky, Miss Cambridge. Coins usually always land on tails 90% of the time.
Actually, the ratio is 51 to 49.
I'm sorry. What?
In flipping coins, the ratio of heads to tails. Plus, usually it's based on whatever side it was tossed on.
Miss Noriko just stares at Cohen and rolls her eyes.
Superheroes, assemble! Introductions start now. You will introduce yourselves and your superhero names. Go!
Hi, Rex. My hero name is Colonel Cole, ma'am.
I am Cohen, and my superhero name is Bluebird. Man. Boy.
Bluebird, what is your power? Seeing someone to death?
As Cohen, or Bluebird, or Man Boy, screams, his voice knocks down every tree within a 5-mile radius.
Never mind.
I'm Madeline, but you can call me Maddie. My hero name is Jaguar.
Well, it's nice to meet you all. Would you like to meet my class?
No. Not really.
All right, teams, here's the rules. We go one round of dodgeball. Whoever wins, meaning all the players are knocked down, gets bragging rights, I guess.
Both teams assemble themselves, gathering in a circle. The sidekicks on one side, and the heroes on another.
Since Miss Cambridge won the coin toss,
I really wouldn't call that fun.
heroes get the ball first.
Aw, darn.
Dr. Poison throws the ball to Bryce, who has a smug look on his face. Bryce throws the ball in the air a few times, waiting until Dr. Poison blows the whistle and immediately throws toward Justice. Justice ducks.
Watch it.
Yeah, you almost hit her.
That's the point!
While Ashlyn, Bryce, and Cohen are arguing, Derek grabs the ball and throws it out of bounds, hitting Miss Noriko again.
Out of bounds. Heroes get the ball again.
Derek!
Derek shrugs his shoulders, looking smug, while Dr. Poison hands Miss Noriko an ice pack. Maddie throws the ball at Cassie.
Hey, that hurt, you big meanie.
That's 1 for heroes and 0 for sidekicks.
Surprise, surprise. You guys suck.
Maverick grabs the ball and almost seems to be contemplating what angle would be best to throw it. Taking too long to think, Derek grabs the ball again and aims it at Maddie. She screams as the ball shoots in the air and slams her in the face. She falls back against the grass, and Mr. Miko rolls her eyes and pulls her out of the game.
1 heroes and 1 sidekicks. Good job, sweetie. Keep dodging the ball.
Thanks, Daddy. I will.
While Dr. Poison and his daughter are getting mushy, Cohen takes this time to throw the ball and hit Ashlyn in the chest.
Score!
Nice job, Cohen. You totally outnumber us. We are still kicking your butts.
Ashlyn sighs and walks over to Cassie, who is standing in the sidelines with Miss Cambridge.
That's 2 for the heroes and 1 for the sidekicks.
Justice takes a deep breath and grabs the ball as the 2 preteens are in hero stance, ready to dodge. She aims toward Cohen, who opens his mouth and bellows, causing a chain reaction. Trees fall, Justice shrieks. He throws the ball and hits an innocent bystander. Good job.
I hate you. Isn't that cheating?
This is superhero dodgeball. Anything is allowed except for killing.
Well, there goes our secret weapon. Sorry, Derek.
That's silly. Derek wouldn't hurt a fly. How would you know? Too much talking, not enough playing.
Bryce runs to grab the ball and aims at Derek. Derek catches the ball and throws it at Bryce, who jumps. Cohen grabs the ball and throws it at Justice, who is clearly not paying attention, staring at God knows what. It hits her in the head. She turns to face them slowly.
Oh no, I got hit. That sucks. Blah, blah, blah.
Justice walks over to the sidelines. On Team Sidekicks, there are 3 players left. Calvin, who somehow throughout the whole game has not even been aimed at while he stared at a monarch butterfly, Derek, and Maverick. On Team Heroes, Bryce and Cohen. Amazing! To add to the excitement or confusion, depending on your point of view, I think I'm going to use their hero names. The Fry runs over to Mr. Countdown and nudges him out of his butterfly stupor. Mr. Countdown takes the ball and seems to be calculating in his head.
I have a 2% shot at hitting one of them. Based on their speed so far, it doesn't seem very likely. Are we in math class right now? I forfeit my spot in this game.
You can't forget your spot in this game.
Forfeit, not forget.
Let's get back to the game.
Calvin, I mean Mr. Countdown, drops the ball and walks over to the sidelines, even though technically he wasn't out. That leaves 2 against 2. The final score is... I said the final score is... Dr. Poison, the final score.
What? Oh, right. Heroes 3.5 and sidekicks 1.
The Fry and the Plunger huddle together for a minute mumbling. Literally, they're mumbling before they clap their hands, and the Plunger grabs the ball and throws it at Bluebird Manboy, who once again dodges. Bluebird Manboy then grabs the ball and twirls it on his finger before throwing it in between the 2 sidekicks. This goes back and forth for a while. Colonel Cole throws it at the Fry, who ducks and it hits. Oh, that violates at least a few child protection laws. 15 minutes later.
Ready to be knocked out? Little potato?
I'm not a potato!
And then, in an interesting turn of events, Maverick's whole body turns red like a bottle of ketchup. Except he's on fire. Literally on fire. And throws the ball, knocking Cohen down. The ball that was once full of air has melted.
You better not let those little brats beat us, Colonel Cold, or you'll be doing ice skating laps for a year.
Fun fact, Colonel Gold hates ice skating with a passion. I do too. Have you tried that? It's hard.
Heroes 3.5 and sidekicks 2.
But we don't have a ball anymore, Miss Noriko.
We can always play hide and seek.
I'm not playing hide and seek.
Scared you're gonna lose to little kids? I think he is. Bryce is scared. Bryce is scared.
I am not. Fine. Let's do this.
We'll hide first.
and you have to count to 10. Don't forget to close your eyes.
I know how to play hide and seek.
And no cheating.
I got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In another turn of weird events, the Fry and the Plunger are actually working together and have somehow managed to convince their older, supposedly more wiser schoolmates to play hide and seek.
10.
Bryce begins looking all over the park. By now, everyone who is no longer in the game has lost interest and is eating lunch, including myself. I like pizza, kind of. It depends on my mood. But today, we are having pizza. And about 10 minutes later, Bryce comes back to the group huffing.
I can't find them. I think the little runts got lost or something.
Bryce doesn't finish his sentence as he looks over at the group of kids. There are the Plunger and the Fry, Derek and Maverick eating their lunch and trading cookies.
The tree is our safe spot.
You never mentioned a safe spot.
There's always a safe spot in hide.
Yeah, I thought you said you played this before.
Bryce looks like he's ready to kick their butts until Cohen pulls him back and Miss Rico places her hand on his shoulder.
Congratulations. The Sidekicks won. Not by score, of course. You managed to outwit all of my kids.
I guess that makes us the heroes, doesn't it?
Not by a long shot. We're still sidekicks, but now you can hold that title proudly. And now for your prize. I'll take one of your little brats off your hands.
I volunteer Telltale Ashland's tribute.
Hey, that's okay, Ashley. My name's not Ashley. You weren't a really good superhero anyways.
You're both wrong. I won't be taking Aslan.
That's not my name either.
I will take Maverick. He's coming into his powers nicely, and it's clear he's not just a fried hook.
You can't do that. You can't do that?
Well, when a hero starts coming into his powers, real powers, he usually goes to the elite class.
The elite class? Really? Later, losers?
Traitor.
Maverick runs over to stand next to Bryce, who continues to glare at him.
Well, it's been fun. Now, if you excuse us, we have to break in our new classmates. Let's go, elites.
Daddy, we won.
Yes, your team did. And you were the second kid to get hit. I guess that means my ice ray stays black. Thank God.
Nope. You said if I played, I'd get to turn it pink. But which shade of pink? There's so many, and choose wisely because there's no turning back.
Dear God, what have I done?
And now it's time for another super historical fact. Cassiel Wilkins is much like Maverick Grayskull. Well, aside from the fact that she still has her parents are human, which is unusual for a superhero. But then, is she really a hero? No one can say. All that we know is that she can grow her hair at the usual human speed of... Okay, she is clearly not a hero, but her parents think so, and that's all that matters. We just hope this doesn't lead to a disappointing future ahead where she eventually decides that she should become a villain like that one chick that played with Lancelot, a little too much, and then she kind of went psycho, and I don't know, I didn't read the comics, but apparently it was a big thing. So, best to avoid that, best to avoid the cliche, you know what I'm talking about? Anyways, stay tuned for another episode of Sidekicks and another super historical fact. Thank you for listening.
Have a super day. Sorry.
So I'm trying to think of another question, something that you obviously have not answered before, because I know we've talked a little bit about the dodgeball episode, and we're already hinting that a part 2, hopefully, fingers crossed, is coming.
Yeah.
So I know that they talked about this a little bit in the episode, but I want you to be able to expand a little bit more about like the elite class, because I think a lot of the time later on, they're just kind of, we know them as like the older kids just because it's easier to kind of keep track. But so like about like the prerequisites to be in that sort of class, is there like an age group, or is it just only coming into your powers? Like talk a little bit about the elite class.
When I first wrote it, it was just like the older kids, and they had to have a certain amount of control because you could be older. Like Justice is older. She's actually 16, but she doesn't have any powers. So regardless, like in episode 3, where she's like, oh, well, I'm an older kid. Maybe I'm supposed to be in your class. And Black Panther was like, no, you don't have any powers, so that's not going to work for me. And I did that for a specific reason, because it leads up to episodes 7, 8, 9, and 10. But the main thing was usually the younger kids anyways don't have control of their powers, so they're all going to be in one class instead of making it like first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. It's just like, oh, you don't have control of your powers, then you just get put into this class because maybe you don't have powers. Like Cassie, it doesn't seem like she has powers. And so we don't want to put you with the heroes because you're really just sidekick material. So the prerequisite really to get into the elite class is to be able to do something more than just make the perfect fry. So yeah, I hope that answered it.
No, that does, because I'm about to actually ask you a follow-up question. So how do students go, like, what's the application process? Like, do they submit an application to the school and then they come on campus for like a practical exam? Like, how does that sort of thing work?
I actually haven't delved into that, but I would think that it would be like challenges like the dodgeball episode, where it's the elite class against the sidekick class, and then if that teacher goes, I like that kid's power, and it seems like they have a good control over it, even though technically Maverick didn't have control over it, because it only came up because he got really angry for being called a potato. So that would be the way that they would be able to apply. It's not because a teacher doesn't want their student to leave, especially like for the sidekick class, because once all the sidekicks are gone, then you don't have a class anymore. And then you're basically fired or laid off until more students arrive. So it would be during like a challenge, the older kids and the younger kids are challenged against each other, and it goes from there.
Okay.
But to add on to that, the only reason Black Panther did that, it wasn't necessarily that she wanted Maverick so bad. It was just to poke at Miss Cambridge, because that's Lightning Bolt, and she's the only one that knows that she knows Miss Cambridge is Lightning Bolt.
So. Because we listened to a lot of the earlier episodes, so I'm thinking what to ask a little bit related to those, and then I'll switch over to obviously things that we can probably predict, or well, not predict because you are writing the script for season 2. Just trying to think. So who is the youngest student?
Ooh. I want to say it's Derek or Calvin, but let me double check. That's a good question.
It's what I do best. I'm always in your DMs. Hey, I got a question. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, do you have time to answer this?
Character descriptions.
We will have to get together at some point and make that like relationship chart.
Yes, for sure.
We need to do that.
See, it's not. Is it cat? Okay, so it's. Do you want by year or just by age? I mean,
just by age.
By month or age?
By age.
Okay, then it's Calvin, Cassie, and Derek.
Okay, and out of those, because now we're going to go into months, out of those students, who was the youngest?
Okay.
Because I was thinking it was Derek, but like I don't have any information to back that up.
2010. You know what? I'm gonna go with Derek because I don't have the other students' birth dates.
Gotcha. No, I don't know what really stands out to me that Derek is the youngest. I don't know if it's because he sounds the youngest.
I think it's his earlier voice sounds like super younger than everyone else.
Okay, so then outside of Justice, because we all know that she isn't a part of the school. So who's the oldest student?
Oldest?
Mm-hmm.
In the site?
That's not Justice. No, out of all the students. So we're obviously focusing on the older kids. Yeah, because I don't have a guess on this one. So, so how old is Derek? Is he like? I don't know why I want to say
Cassie, Calvin, and Derek are all 10. Wait,
10. Okay.
No, for season 2 they're 10. So they were all 9.
9.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm doing research.
Why there's gonna be a lore book.
Okay, he's that age.
Asking me important questions, because I'm a villain.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta know these things.
Mm-hmm. I'm planning from jail.
They're all the same age. They're all 14. All the older
14?
students. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then that's not bad. It's only 4 years apart from the oldest and the youngest.
And you're only talking season 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Season 2, because the thing is, season 2, I'm assuming it's a year ahead, since obviously some of the kids are only a year older.
Yeah.
But yeah, just season 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a top 2.
Ooh. Okay.
Top 2 villains that isn't Dr. Poison.
Dang it. Okay.
Because I already know he's in that list. So I'm like, villains that you. Okay, we'll do this in 2 ways, and Dr. Poison can be a part of only this one part.
Okay.
One that you connect with on like a personality level.
Ooh.
Because that's not always the one that you like, but the one that you connect with.
Got it. Dr. Poison. I tried, I really did. But next to him would be Perplexia, because Dr. Poison, because he's super awkward and I'm super awkward, and he's super awkward around people that he likes, and I'm super awkward around a guy that I like, so that's why.
Okay.
And then Perplexia, because she's basically like a teenager stuck inside an adult body. Hello, hi, that's me. But I'm not crazy, so I can't connect to that part. And
yeah, I would hope not. I would have lots of concerns if you connected to that part. Just like, I just felt a little
yeah.
So who are your other two favorite villains that isn't Dr. Poison?
That isn't Dr. Poison.
That you either just like because maybe you like their character design, or like because of just their personality and their characteristics. Like,
I'm gonna go with
very, very, very overview of like.
Black Panther. Because I don't know, there's just something about her character that I wrote into her that I like. I'm not even sure what it is. It's just, I'm like, that was such a great line that I wrote for her. Like every time I write something out for her. So it's definitely her. And then, is it top two or?
Yeah, top two that isn't Dr. Poison. And it's harder because there are more heroes than villains, so you have a less pool to choose from.
Well, I mean, there's more heroes than villains, but not in the way I wrote it. Technically, right now you only know of Captain Rowan, Lightning Bolt, and Steelfire. But I digress.
Right. but I mean, well, I'm also including like the students in that, like the good characters versus the bad characters. I'm trying not to give away spoilers, so that's why I'm saying there's more villains, there's more heroes than there are villains.
I'm gonna say Red Thorn, and not because you play her.
It is because I play her. No, I know it's not because I play her.
It's because she was supposed to be like a really minimal character, so like the times that she popped up, it was because something big was happening. So that's why she's my favorite. Because you knew, oh, okay, this is time to get serious because her sidekick is there, so they're planning something. What are they planning? Especially in the earlier episodes. So, yeah.
Good answer. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little astray off the earlier things that we have been talking about, because I know there's a lot of early season 1 that obviously we don't remember because it was a while ago, and I haven't re-listened to the episodes in a little bit. So obviously the older episodes are a little bit more fresh in my mind. And I know a lot of things that you and I talk about are always the relationships with the characters, because we all know about like Dr. Poison and Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind, and how their dynamic is just very, tension.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. That's what it is. And so we all know about that, but I've always been prodding you about the older class because we don't get to hear a lot. I mean, we hear a lot from the older class, but not in the way that we kind of really know and connected with the younger class. So I want to know more about like the older kid dynamic, because there's five of them, 6 of them.
No,
I'm like trying to. I'm like, wait a minute, how many of them are there?
There's only 3 of them. It's Maddie, Cohen, and Bryce. So what's
Would it technically also be Maverick because of that episode? Question mark.
well? Do you want to know about the relationship dynamics with when he joined the class or before?
You know what? Let's do before.
Okay. So Cohen and Bryce are besties. They're attached to the hip like all the time. You rarely see Bryce without Cohen. And then there's Maddie. She's the only girl in her class, which kind of sucks for her.
I mean, is it really that bad? I don't know.
Well, when you want to talk makeup, yeah.
Facts. I can't just be like Miss Cambridge.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So what dynamic, like what exactly do you want to know, just what every character, what relationship to every character?
Well, basically the relationship that they have together as a class. So since it's obviously just the three of them, I mean, do they all get along? Do like two secretly hate the other one? You know, like that sort of like their class dynamic, since it's literally only the three of them, which is pretty much their entire relationship because I'm pretty sure they spent a lot of time together, clearly.
Yeah. So Bryce and Cohen, obviously they get along super well. Bryce thinks of himself as like, because his parents are really big in the superhero world, even though Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind are the top dogs, like after them is his parents. So he's very egotistical. So that makes him think he's the leader of the group. Maddie kind of just goes her own way. And he does have a little crush on her. She doesn't know it, not that I think right now, but she also does have a crush on him, but she doesn't realize she has a crush on him. And yeah, they do all get along though, so it's not like I'm gonna be the best. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Like I said, we always hear a lot about, you know, the younger kids, and as the episodes later on, you know, the focus a little bit was on the older kids and, you know, the whole big fight scene and everything else, so they finally get like their quote unquote shining moment. Well, I mean, basically anybody in that episode that wasn't Dr. Poison pretty much got any Captain Whirlwind, any of them, like the kids all got a shining moment. The adults failed at life during that episode.
I don't know what was going on with the heroes, but like they
were just like, kids got it. Yeah, they're like, kids got to eat popcorn. It's fine. They don't need our guidance.
Exactly.
They're fine.
I will say that pre episode 7, they didn't get along a lot. Like there was always going to be this little bit of competition, especially for Maddie because she's the only girl in the class. So she doesn't want to seem weak. But other than that, they pretty much, it wasn't like a constant fight over everything.
Mm-hmm. So I had to go dig up my question that I was like, remind me to ask you this. And I couldn't remember, like, I was like searching question, ask. I was like, how did I send this to you? But I found it about how Red Thorn and Black Panther met.
Okay, so this is a little bit of lore about Black Panther. She was actually, when she was studying to be, I don't know, she was going to be an anti-hero. So when she was studying to be an anti-hero, that's the best way I can say it, she went to Meta Patrol, which is like the police department of that world. but then she realized how corrupt Meta Patrol was, that she decided to basically go her own way. There wasn't a union then, so but they had like a group, so there was like a villain group but not a union. And Red Thorn, who, even though they were the same age, like after a few battles and stuff, Black Panther pretty much got a name for herself. So she basically asked to intern as a villain's sidekick, and Black Panther was chosen. The end. The rest is history.
Clearly. So on a scale from like 1 to 10, as in 1 they don't get along, and 10 is that they're holding hands skipping through flowers, like how would you rate their working relationship? Because I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all that they have. Like they're probably not friends or anything like that outside of the myriad of evil. So so how would you rate their working relationship?
I would say it's a 7. A 7 because despite how much villains don't usually get along. So because it's usually all about them and all about their own plans. So if they team up, it's because it's going to benefit them in the end, if that makes sense. So like if Dr. Poison and Black Panther were to team up, it would be because Black Panther has something or has a way for Dr. Poison to get what he wants, not necessarily because he likes her. That being said, Black Panther is a way for Red Thorn to kind of make her name. So yeah, she's going to do what Black Panther wants, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. Like when she was dating Captain Whirlwind, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Red Thorn is like, why are you dating a superhero? That's so stupid. But okay, boss, whatever. So yeah, it would be a 7. So Red Thorn is still gonna do what Black Panther wants, but not with a cheery smile like, yeah, I get to kidnap kids today. Like she's like, okay, fine, whatever.
Right. I'm you know me, I'm like, I want to know how all these characters relate to one another, how they feel. Because I think that's an important dynamic, because I feel sometimes that gets lost, where it's like you want to just talk about the story and what's happening now, but it's like, okay, well, what made these characters, you know, what's their relationship with each other, what makes them hate or like, you know, a certain person,
who,
or whatever
when,
the
where,
case.
why, how.
Yeah, so I'm always here for that. And you know, I'm just like, but what about these two characters? What does so and so think about so and so? Just because for me, as a person who voices a villain and a hero in training, like knowing that dynamic for me knows how, if say Bryce were to say a line to Maddie, okay, now I can think, okay, this is their relationship, you know, they're good friends, they have crushes on each other but not realize it. How would she reply? Versus not just that, kind of like, so it doesn't sound like a cold read, because then you just have to assume what their relationship is. So like for me, as a voiceover, it helps, but I'm also very intrigued because it's a good story, clearly. Like, obviously, I don't think a lot of us would be voicing in this if we didn't think it was a good story. But just to know just a lot of those different elements just really help. And you know me, like I said, I'm usually like always asking you about who likes who and who has this relationship with so and so, and how much does, you know, Bryce hates the younger kids and he's gonna bully all of them. Like those are, I mean, they sound like dumb questions probably to other people, but for me, I'm just like, okay, I can understand these characters and I can understand the relationships. I can understand, okay, this is why, maybe this is why Cohen and Bryce talk to each other a certain way. But then, like, if Ashton were to talk to Bryce is just like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, can you not talk to me, please?
Exactly. What do you want, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can, like, go away, Rainbow Bright, or something, like, something ridiculous. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So, like, it's helpful because, we get to explore the lore and truly come into understanding the characters that we voice. So that's why I always ask people such questions. I'm always obsessed with asking that.
I actually had that moment when I was writing episode 10. It was when Captain Whirlwind was like, well, you should learn not to be more trusting or something like that. And I was like, well, that's not just talking about her trusting him to not attack him with his power, with his tornado. Right. It was like she trusted him and he threw her under the bus. And then the first episode shows he threw her under the bus and gave away her secret identity. And so I had to like kind of channel that when I was saying my line, like, what do you mean I shouldn't be more trusting? So, yeah.
That definitely works. I'm trying to think, do I have any other questions that you haven't answered before? Because I mean, we've talked about like your writing process, your favorite characters that you like to write for, favorite characters just in general. Anything you would like to share, since I don't know. Okay, so here I can ask you for like not a spoiler because I don't want angry comments, but I would like a teaser of something for season 2.
Do you want me to read something, or
I'll leave that up to you. That's if you want to read us a little snippet, if you want to tell us a little tension.
I'll read you something just because I feel like reading with an Irish accent, so that means it's going to be a Captain Whirlwind line. So give me a minute.
Yes. Oh, that means that there's going to be so much tension in this line. I'm going to love it.
You get to hear me talk to myself and basically hear my process when I'm writing stuff. So give me a minute. Mm-hmm. And I think I've mastered Rob's voice.
Rob, you've been let go. Kristen's gonna voice all your lines now. Please, I'm nobody. Don't.
I just hope
I'm not staff. Don't believe me.
I just hope that in my head it doesn't sound like, it sounds like Rob's voice, but to him it'll sound like a leprechaun, and then I'll be like really upset.
You can only send your comments and concerns privately to Krista. You can't put them publicly.
Right. Okay, let's see. Where's the first episode? Also, you're like really good at asking questions. Whenever I do this, I'm like,
And I will say, because you were just like, come prepared for questions. I did not. So these have really much been on the fly. I'm just like, yeah, I didn't have time to think about these things.
It sounds like you did, so.
Yes, and fool the world with my villainy ways. But yeah, no, I mean, there are some things like I had always been curious about, and I really didn't want to ask the things that you've already answered in previous Q&A, so I definitely wanted to avoid that, because it could have been easy, like, well, what's your favorite episode? What was your favorite episode to write?
How did
What?
you write?
How did you write this? Like, what do you think about the tension between Captain Whirlwind and Lightning Bolt? Like, we all know the answers to this stuff. Just listen and watch the previous Q&As. Like, I want this to be different. So I try to make it a point to ask something different, but you know, like, I've been asking about lore for a while, so I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who is just like, oh, wanting to know more about the characters and, you know, where they live and all that other stuff. So I mean, if I'm curious, then hopefully someone out there is curious. So
Hopefully.
fingers crossed. If not, if it's just me, it's fine. I mean, it makes me a better voiceover. So I mean, if you guys don't find this great, I mean, I think you should just re-listen all 10 episodes.
Yeah, just listen to everything. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everyone's voice. So
wait, who's everyone? Because remember, we're not seeing this. This is
right.
live.
I will read the name and then go into the voice. Cassie. Miss Cambridge, guess what? My hair is back to its normal length now. Not now, Cassie. To Captain Whirlwind. You can't just choose what level you get to teach. They're all one class. Besides, if anyone gets first choice, it's me. You're just the teacher's aide. Ugh, not this again. Why do you always... Oh my god, now I'm doing it like the leprechaun. I'm just gonna be it like normal. I'm so sorry, Rob. Normally I'm on spot with his voice. Not this again. Why do you always have to control things, Lightning Bolt? Ashlyn, why do you always have to control things, Bryce? Bryce, because I'm older. Miss Cambridge at the same time. I don't try to control things, Ashlyn. Oh, look at me. I'm Bryce and I'm scared. Oh, look at me. I'm Bryce and I'm scared. I'm going to be turned into an evil villain. Help me, sidekicks. Bryce, I do not sound like that. Captain Whirlwind. No, Whirlwind. This isn't a mocking voice. No, Whirlwind. We should go through the alleyway. No, Cap. Dr. Poison only uses the blue solution to make you sleepy. Stop it, Trevor. I only like to be tickled during... Those were all valid complaints. And scene.
I wasn't expecting that much tension, but there was just a lot of it. So much. Oh, I love it. That was great. And is that the opening scene from episode 1?
It is. Hold on. It's either episode 1 or episode 2.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't have any more questions. Not off the top of my head right now. I don't know if you would like. I mean, I know it's your Q&A, but I don't know if you would like to ask me anything, because I mean, I'm almost here on every episode.
Well, you mentioned predictions. So did you want to, I don't know, predict something, or want me to predict something? Because I haven't even fully written the episode, so some of them might be predictions.
Well, I know one of my predictions is that Red Thorn kind of feels like she's done with her internship, like she's learned enough because of, you know, this grand failure that landed them both in jail. So I was predicting her just saying, well, screw you, Black Panther, you can just sit here with your kitty litter in the corner in this jail, but I'm gonna go. And then she like breaks out somehow, and then, you know, I don't know after that what her plans might be. I have a feeling like she's gonna become like the secret boss nobody ever thought about, because why not? Because she was only a sidekick, quote unquote.
Possibility.
So one of my predictions was definitely her like breaking out of jail and not helping Black Panther get out. something that you've kind of confirmed via like previous Q&As is that we do get a little bit more like feelings and crushes and who likes who. So that I'm looking forward to. I don't have any predictions on relationships, but it is something I am looking for, especially since there are additions to the older class. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Do I have any other predictions? I don't know. I don't know why this came to my mind. I'm thinking of someone being either during a fight, either like seriously wounded or like fatally wounded. I don't know why that just popped into my head.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that popped into my head. Just because I know we also talked about how towards the end of the season, it got very dark and very serious. And even though I think there are still going to be some like comedy, I still think it's going to still take a very serious tone because, you know, just because you got rid of one villain doesn't mean there's not going to be another villain that's going to pop up and take their place.
Exactly.
So I think, yeah, I'm thinking someone, I don't know who. I'm thinking I don't know why I want to say Bryce. And I think the reason why I want to say Bryce is because he's overconfident. and I feel like because he was overconfident, he screws up like real bad. Yeah, I feel like those always wind up being the best lessons. I mean, I would never want anybody to kill off a character. I mean, I'm just saying. But like usually those are the people that like they get taken down a couple notches to really like reassess their situation and like the predicament that they're in. That I feel like for him, it would have to be getting hurt or someone close to him getting hurt for him to just being like,
right,
I'm not who I really thought I was. So yeah, I'm thinking either it is Bryce himself or someone close to him, and it could be someone close to him either in season 1 or if he happens to get someone close to someone in season 2. I just feel like that's gonna be like a trigger. But yeah, that's all I got from the morbidly mind of my, because I literally every time that we have asked this question, I have never thought about someone being like injured severely, and I'm like, yeah, someone's got to get killed, right? I mean,
someone's
right?
Die.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a real superhero story if someone doesn't die. Like no one. So I don't know why that popped into my head to think about as a prediction, but I have a feeling that like an arrogant character, like I said, doesn't have to be Bryce, but just because he's just off the top of my head, someone's gonna screw up really bad.
Good predictions. I love it. Krista, what
I'm here for?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I can ask, like, what do you predict that you haven't written yet? Like, okay, so predict something, because I know that you haven't fully finished episodes. Like, I'm pretty sure you have, like, part of, like, episode 4 written here and then part of 3 over here, because I understand the writing process. So what do you predict one of your episodes are going to lead into? Because it doesn't have to, but just, like, think about how, like, you ended, say, like, a certain scene. Like, if you were to continue that scene right now, what would it be like?
It's so hard. It's hard because we touched on this before. I only have a certain amount. I've only made a certain amount of episodes per season. So, like, last season was 10. This season is 10. And I want to fit literally everything that's in my brain into those 10 episodes, but that's my brain just can't do that. It's like you have to stop at 10. And I would like to see Dr. Poison with a girlfriend. I don't know if it would be someone that we've already seen in this world, or if it would just be like someone that like nobody's ever even heard of, just because I think that would be interesting too. Action wise, I kind of want to play around with Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind being pushed out of their roles as teachers, just because at this point they've done it for so long. It's like, okay, now you have to go back to being a hero and you can't do this anymore. And it's like kind of like a culture shock, even though they were already heroes. But then they had to settle down for a minute and not be heroes. And then I've also played around with the idea of, I'm not going to say who, because I'm going to do it at some point. So I kind of want it to be like, whoa. And if you pay attention to season 1, you'd probably be able to figure it out anyways. But somebody, a hero becoming bad, like what the process for that would be. Because we've already done the sidekicks becoming heroes. Just to kind of toy with that, not just like the magical, he was brainwashed. But like questioning everything around him or her. So yeah.
Those are good. I'm here for the last one, just because it makes you think, because it's like you grow up in this sort of, let's just take the lore. You grow up in a society where heroes are always victorious over villains. You know, it's always the hero wins. The hero wins. You know, why would anybody want to become a villain? What is it, for the challenge? You know, but to think, like, if somebody on the process of becoming a hero goes, wait, what?
Yeah,
I don't agree with that.
Why am I doing
Why is that right? Exactly. And then they start to learn, or say almost unlearn, everything they know as a hero, and say, we like villains, come to the evil side, we have cookies, you know. Like, you know, just that would be the chocolate chip is usually evil, but that would be a very interesting dynamic.
And I am kind of still playing with it a little bit. It's just like finding ways to get that in there without it being cheesy. I want it to be natural. And like I said, I don't want to take the easy route where, he was brainwashed and everything is back to normal if we can just heal that person. And I think I'm already getting friendship.
You know what I just thought about, which would be really interesting if you go this route, and you obviously don't have to write this in there, but it would be interesting to go that route with a character that you've mentioned that kind of goes that route. I won't say who, because I know you know who I'm talking about, but I don't want to spoil it. It would be very interesting if that dynamic leads the two of them to work together. Because they have the same thought process. Like I said, I won't say who, because that will be a spoiler if you do decide to go that route. But you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I do.
So that would be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
I'm playing around with things.
Well, we are all very excited for season 2 for sure. So I know we have a table read planned out at some point, so that's something to look forward to. But yeah, I don't have any other questions unless you don't want to give any other information.
I'm scared. I already almost gave
Okay, all right. All right, done. Cut. It's over. We don't want to spoil anymore. I don't want to be like, oh, it's Red Thorn's fault. How dare she let the director spoil things? I'm like, guys, I don't even know. These are literal. This is me thinking out loud. These are predictions based on what I have thought could happen. These are predictions based on things I would probably like to happen, but I am not the writer. I don't contribute. The only thing I contribute to is my voice. I got nothing else.
And to be fair, I kind of threw hints in season 1 already about what we were just talking about. So like if you didn't catch it in season 1, that's like, yeah.
Your homework is to go back and re-listen to season 1. I'm just saying.
All I can say is there is someone in season 1 that cannot be trusted. And that is it.
Leave who you think it is in the comments below. Because we know. Well, I mean, I can guess. But
Girl, you
it's not
probably
confirmed. I probably already know. But I'm not going to confirm or deny anything. So I'll just clearly say I don't know. Whether I'm lying or not is up to you.
Who knows? Okay, well, since we are done with questions and listening to these awesome episodes, anyone watching this, I would like to encourage you to go to the link below, listen to all the episodes, and support us on Patreon. We really need your help to keep this project going. And you get some really cool rewards. I'm actually making stickers right now, working on stickers and t-shirts. So that'll be something cool to look forward to if you support our Patreon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.